Hello guys, so let's discuss today how to convert a file from FB to VB in mainframe. Okay, so you want to copy data from a fixed block file and you want to create the output file as a variable block, and also the data has to be copied. Okay, so with this example, we'll try to understand this topic. So first of all, I have taken a JCL where I have a step. I will execute the utility called sort, and using this utility I will copy data from test.ps file to test.ps38 file. Okay, now this test.ps file is a fixed block file, so we'll check it. So this is the test.ps file. If we check the configuration, FB length is 80. Okay, and if I check the data inside, data is IBM mainframe, so only one record is there. So I will not convert, actually I will copy data from this fixed block file to a variable block file. So this output file I'm creating, I have written disposition parameter, unit, space, and all of that. And inside sysindid star, I have written option copy outfill f names equal to sort out, comma f to v. So these options you have to remember. Okay, outfill f names means what is the name of the output file. It is sort out, because the dd name of the output file is sort out. Okay, so sort out, and then f to v is fixed to block variable, so it will convert the fixed block file to a variable block file. Now if I submit this JCL, now if I check it, ps.38 test.ps38. So if you check the attributes first, variable block and 84, variable block 84, and the data is copied. Now why has the length of this output file become 84 but the input file was 80? That is because we are copying from a fixed block file to create a variable block file. Now as we know, in a variable block file we always have 4 bytes extra. So whatever data you copy from the input file, 4 bytes will be added to the output file so that it can store the file catalog information. This is the property of a variable block file, that whenever a variable block file is created, 4 bytes are always reserved to store the file catalog information. Now I have not mentioned any DCB parameter in this JCL. I have not hard coded any record format or record length. So dynamically it has been calculated from this sysindid star option. Okay, whatever I have written from here, dynamically the length and format have been evaluated. Now format has been evaluated from this f to v, and because of this length has been evaluated. So since I'm copying data from input to output, 80 bytes of data has been copied from input to output, and since I'm creating a variable block, so 80 plus 4, it is becoming 84. That is why the output file has become 84 bytes. Okay, so this is how length will be evaluated. If I take another example where I have the same input file, 80 bytes, okay, I will create another file ps38, but this time I have mentioned DCB parameter. I have mentioned length is 80, record format is variable block. Now here I have hard coded the length 80. Okay, so this time I have to write option copy outfill f names equal to sort out, comma f to v. So this part is common from the with the last example. Now there is one thing which you should think about in this time, because in the previous example we did not mention DCB parameters, so dynamically it calculated the length, the format, but this time I have hard coded. So whatever I have hard coded and whatever I have written here should be in sync. There should not be any conflict, otherwise the JCL will fail. So what I am converting f to v, and here I have written variable block, so it is matching. Here also I am writing, I am converting from fixed to variable. Here also I have written that I want the output file in variable block format. Here I have written the length as 80. I want the output file with 80 length. So as we know, in variable block, 4 bytes will be reserved always to store file catalog information. So we cannot copy all the 80 bytes from input file. We have to copy only 76 bytes from input file, because if we copy 76 bytes from input file, Variable block file will already have 4 bytes, so total it will be 80, and it will match with the length that I have written here. Total it will be 80. So outrec, oops, so outrec 1,76 is from the first position of input file. I will copy 76 characters or 76 bytes to the output file, and 4 bytes will be added because this is a variable block. Finally, it will make it 80. If you don't um, write this in sync, it will fail. So if I submit this JCL, oops, I think this file is already there. Okay, so test.ps39. So see, variable block 80 this time. Okay, variable block 80. It has matched and record has also been copied. That is because I have kept everything in sync. Just imagine you don't write this part. What will happen? It is converting from fixed to variable, which is matching with this example. But the length I have mentioned as 80 here. But here by default dynamically it will calculate 84 because 80 bytes will come from input and 4 bytes will be added. Let's check what will happen in this case. Axis is 16. So if you go to spool, so here axis is 16, okay, and here the actual error should come. See, below it is written this line, 84 byte variable record is longer than 80 byte maximum for sort out. So clearly it is written. So 84 bytes it is calculating from here, and 80 bytes I have written here. So it is a conflict. That is why it is failing. So you have to be very careful. If you write the DCB parameter, it should be in sync with whatever you write here. Or if you don't write the DCB parameter, then whatever is expected, whatever is the requirement, it should calculate from this sysnd star statement. Okay, hope this helps. I will come up with more videos. So thank you.